Hello, and welcome to Office Hours, the weekly show where we here at the OP Group talk about business-related things in the gaming industry. And hello, my name is Jamar, and I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Oliver, and that was a real good intro, Jamar.
I practiced several times in the mirror before we went live.
Yeah, that's good. You started talking, and I kind of half expected you to...
Mess it up?
I mean... in nicer words, I would have said that, but it was fantastic.
We need to talk about your confidence in me, Oliver.
I am extremely confident in you. I'm extremely confident in this show.
So it looks like we have a ton of people in chat right now. Shout out to Fearless.
That's me.
That's him. Triton, Xanatax, Solokevi? Solokevi? I think that's right. Xanatax again.
Morpheus?
Morpheus? Shout out to
Audrey.
Mr. McStabby using our faces.
We
I
have
love that.
Yeah, we have faces. It's great.
Audrey's in chat. I think she just hosted the channel. Thank you very much for that. We always
Audrey.
appreciate that. Whenever people host, a dinosaur gets its wings. So.
Wow. Is it any kind of dinosaur, or is it specifically like a dinosaur that would have wings normally?
I'm thinking the entire cast of The Land Before Time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, Mr. McStabby. A dinosaur just got its wings.
Yes. You are now responsible for Littlefoot being able to fly.
Oh, check it out. We got this wrong. It's actually Orpheus.
Orpheus. Northwest Orpheus.
We've been over this, Ollie.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
My bad.
Thank you so much for the bits.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Oh my gosh, more dinosaurs can fly now. Xanatax.
We've got bits going. So before we jump into today's show, I think that we have announcements that we're talking about.
We do. We do have a few announcements that we want to get through today. I mean, let's see. There's a few things going on. As you guys know, I think you know. If you don't know, now you know. We're in San Diego, and Comic-Con's happening. So if anybody's
Comic-Con
in town for that, let us know. I think some amount of us will probably make it to the convention this weekend. I probably won't. I tend to stay away from that place if I can during Comic-Con, because it's scary. But, you know, maybe I'll get down there. We'll see. Are you going down there at all, Jamar?
I am not.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Yes.
it's kind of like the same thing Oliver said.
Yeah.
Like, I probably will go, maybe, sort of, but as of right now, no plans to go. Was it you? I think it was Joe. I think it was Joe from the team. He was talking about when he came down to San Diego for the first time. It happened to be during
Yes.
Comic-Con like week.
Yeah.
And during that week, the city is just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it's different. You know?
Yeah.
And he was just like, is this what San Diego is all the time? Like, it's not.
Nah. I always say, like, oh, it's time for all of us nerds to descend upon San Diego and make it our own for the week. But it's a fun time.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's going on. Another big thing, Haley Nick, one of our clients, actually, if you guys are familiar with Haley Nick at all, you know that she's been pregnant for, the last 9 months or so, I'm assuming. And as of this morning at like 1 in the morning, she is no longer that because she had the baby.
She had a baby. That's awesome.
She had a baby. I wonder if I can make that pop up.
I think you can. I think it's gonna go whoop.
Oh God. That's the baby. Yep.
We did it.
We did it. I'm gonna make it go away now. All
Yeah.
right, there it is.
So yeah, like
Congratulations
huge
to
congrats.
Haley for having baby Hazel. That's great.
So Oliver, since we're talking about babies, can you tell me your favorite baby-related story?
So I have a good one.
Okay.
So I'm in Vegas fairly often, I would say. I think we've talked about this on the show. I used to live there. It's basically my second home. I was there a couple weeks ago. We don't talk about that time a couple weeks ago, though. There was some stuff happening.
Okay.
But on another trip, maybe a couple years ago, I was there. Was hanging out with some friends. It was the daytime. We were just kind of hanging out, drinking.
Okay.
Drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, we ended up at Circus Circus of all places, and we went over to the arcade area, and they have, you know, like carnival games where you like throw stuff and win stuffed animals. And so my friend did that.
Okay.
And this lady next to him saw it happen, and she'd been trying to win, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so good. Like, can you win one for me?"
Okay.
And then he was like, "Yeah, I'll try." I mean, he was real drunk at that time, so he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But she was holding a baby, so she
Okay.
was like, "Oh, great." She turned to me and said, "Hold this," and then reached into her purse to get money.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. I don't normally just hold random babies that people hand me.
You were a drunk guy
Yeah,
in
I had a
Vegas.
beer in my other hand. Like, and she said,
drunk
"Here,
guy.
hold this."
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Holding a stranger's baby.
Yeah.
While your friend
Yeah.
tried to win. Oh wow. Okay.
It's like, hold this. This is a human. See, like, this is weird.
hold this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good baby-related story.
Yeah, do you have a good baby-related story?
It's kind of related to your story.
Oh, good. See
I-
that?
Look at that dynamic duo.
That's right.
A long time ago, I went to a wedding, and I didn't know any of the people in the wedding or anything like that. I was just a +1. Like, I was just there to be there. And at some point during the reception, the bride walks up and she says, "Hey, can you hold my baby?" And yeah.
What is with people and asking strangers to hold babies?
And I was just like, "Oh, sure, I guess." So she gives me her baby, and then like she like goes somewhere and leaves. So I'm holding this baby for like half an hour maybe. And then the groom walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, that's my baby." And I'm like, "Yes, do you want your baby?" Like, I don't know why I'm holding
Yeah.
your baby. I didn't even know the baby's name. Do you know how awkward it is?
Hey,
to-
baby.
To like hold a baby and be responsible for it, and like you don't even know what their name is. I gave the baby a name. I was called, yeah.
That's good. That's nice of
Yeah.
you. What was the baby's name? that you gave?
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
But I'm pretty sure, looking back, that it was actually probably a girl. So, whatever.
Yeah, we
He looks so trusting.
I have that theory. Yeah. I mean, I think nerds are trusting looking people. I don't know.
I want to touch on this before it goes away forever. Someone asked a question last week.
Oh yeah, it was Orpheus.
Orpheus.
Yes.
And I believe the answer that was given was we don't really know, and we'll answer this next week. But that was all depending on Omid being on the show.
Yeah.
So
It was that question, yeah, about MMO huts and on RPG. Yeah, if you have that question, go ahead and just DM us on Twitter. It'll probably be easier. Like, honestly, like we can probably give you a better answer that way. So yeah, just hit up the Twitter, slide into the DMs. Slide. I don't know why I did that. That was weird. I've never done that.
yeah, that was weird. I can't. I'm not gonna co-sign on that.
Yeah, well, it happened. We're gonna go with it.
Cool. So today's episode.
Babies.
I hope it's not about babies.
No,
'cause
that was all the baby talk we had, actually.
I would send it to the OPG.
Yeah, that would be better.
OPG Twitter.
Twitter. All right. Well, one last announcement that I want to make before
yes.
we move on is that Jeremy is going to be here next week.
I didn't know you put that on the page.
I did. It's right there. So for those of you that don't know, Jeremy is our statistical data analysis person here
that was
at
a lot
OPG.
of words.
That was. He has an official title, I'm sure. But you know, Jeremy's the numbers guy. He's the guy that knows a lot of things about Twitch. And to be quite honest, there are very few people that know as much about like how Twitch works in a statistical point of view than Jeremy. Like he's really in tune with that. So it's gonna be a cool show next week. If you guys have any questions that may be related to that, I guess start sending them in now because it'll be a good show. It'll be really nice to kind of have a nice sit down with Jeremy and talk about that. I think his official title is Data Solutions Manager, Xanatax. Data Science Guy is also pretty close.
Data science guy.
Yeah, you
like
know.
that.
He does the numbers and stuff, and we have questions about, like, what is this doing? And he knows things. I don't know. Daystar.
Super inside joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm really excited to have Jeremy here in the office, especially on office hours. It's something that like we've wanted to do for a long time. Just like logistically speaking, like it's kind of it's hard. So having him like here in the office and having him on the show, like it's gonna be great. Yeah, so if you guys like have any questions for him, like make sure you send those on Twitter with the hashtag AskOPG, or just drop them in chat and we'll make sure he gets them.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Yep.
Oh,
There it is.
oh, that was hard.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a good show. I think we can also I think for a long time we didn't do that because I don't know if you guys remember, those of you that have been here a little while, we used to have internet issues semi-regularly. And if you knock on wood, I don't know if this table's real wood, but it hasn't happened in a little while.
This is Swedish.
This is Swedish.
Yeah.
Okay. IKEA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we've changed our internet a little bit, and it's working pretty well. So we may be doing some more stuff that we couldn't do before. I don't know. You may see some guest appearances here.
Audrey, what do you mean rip?
Swedish.
Don't scare me.
Just happening. Anyways, I think those are the main announcements we wanted to get through today. I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, which just says the basics. Mostly because it's hard to fit longer words in the title.
Yes.
But we are talking about the game industry today. We decided it was a good opportunity to just kind of, take a step back and look at the industry as a whole. I mean, we all kind of live in this space, so it's kind of hard to remember that, for some people this isn't very obvious information.
Yeah, true. Before we move on, Xavier, can you time out Audrey?
Don't time out Audrey. Yeah. As you notice, both Jamar and I are here right now. So we've got our intern Xavier back there. He's running things. And also Audrey was saying, I think before we went live with us, that this was the first time that Jamar and I have been on the show together. It's not the first time. We went the week before PAX South. We were here.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's when you wore your pizza shirt and I wore my dog shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were twinning.
Yep. They looked like basically the same shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we both wear that shirt when we want people to like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this time, we both made the decision not to wear that shirt.
I intentionally saw the shirt and was like, no. Mm-hmm. I remember what happened last time, and I don't want that incident again. But yeah, anyways, the game industry.
Yeah.
It's a weird place, there's a lot of interesting people in the game industry, and I mean that in the best way possible. Some of my favorite humans on the whole of planet Earth work in the game industry, like you, Jamar.
He's reaching.
One of my favorite humans on the whole planet Earth.
I'm pretty sure Oliver secretly hates me.
Planet Earth.
So, a little inside baseball, me and Oliver sit, right next to each other at work.
Pretty much like this.
And a lot of times when I'm working, I talk to myself. And when I'm typing emails, I just mutter. And sometimes I sing. So I'm pretty sure he hates me, but...
It's fine. You pointed out the other day that's I like that you can tell when I'm talking to myself and when I'm talking to you. I'm like, yeah. You have a certain way you talk to yourself.
Yep.
So it's good. But the game industry, it's something unique about it is that, in terms of it as an entertainment platform, when you compare it to something like, Hollywood or other entertainment things that I can't think of right now, it's similarly large in scale, but in a lot of ways it's a lot smaller because everybody kind of knows each other. And thanks, Lord Asp, for the host. Lord Asp?
Asp is a snake.
Asp is a snake. Why did it have to be snakes, though?
True.
Yeah. But, people move around a lot in the game industry. They're working here, they're working there, and so, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird little club, and everybody kind of knows each other. Hola. Hey, Min Dot Dot.
Why does Min Dot Dot seem familiar to me?
I mean, they were here last week. Could be that.
I think... Never mind.
All right.
So, like Oliver was saying, the industry is super, super, super small. One piece of advice that Omid gave me when I first started was to just make sure that I treat That's how I know.
That's
Min.
what
Dot.
it is. All
That's
right, cool.
Welcome, Min. Like I'm pretty. I was like,
This is the Ninja Jam.
This is the Ninja Jam. I was pretty sure that like I've seen you in chat before, and you also follow me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. Awkward.
But like I was saying, like a piece of advice that Omid gave me when I first started was always just kind of be careful the way that you treat people in the industry, because you might be talking with someone at a certain point and have like a negative experience with them, and like, you know, you were being a dick or something, and then a couple of years down the road, like you might be interviewing with that person at a different company, or you like it's kind of like, don't burn your bridges, because people remember you, especially if you do shitty things, you know?
Yeah, and also Orpheus, sorry, we got your DM at least. Yeah. So we can get to it later. Right now we're doing this thing, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's true. And like another thing, you know, just in general, be nice to people, because, you know, that's a good thing.
You should be nice to people.
Yeah. Xavier. Nah, he's pretty nice, I guess. He does things when we ask him to do things. That's the important thing. But yeah, like, so everybody kind of knows each other, but like, another thing you need to know about the game industry is, you know, when it comes to the people that are like making the games, you know, there's kind of the two big categories that people always talk about.
And those categories are?
What are they, Jamar?
Oh, he's gonna make me do it. I would say that I'm gonna read off your paper.
Oh.
Game developers.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And
yeah.
game developers? He wrote developers twice. Actually, game publishers.
Yes. I was like, hey, everybody.
I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, so the dev or developers.
Sometimes these can be
the same.
The same.
Yeah. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. Doing things with my hands. Lots of stuff is happening here. Okay.
Let me do that.
Yeah, it was good. I was gonna do. No, I'm not gonna do that. So a game dev, they're the people that are making a game, and if it's like a AAA title, it's probably a really large team that's kind of putting that together, and it's probably, you know, broken down into very specific like groups in terms of like, you know, I think Adriana, who works here now, she was saying that she was helping out on, what was it? I don't know, some game, but she was like, her job was like to make some of the background objects, you know, and like that's how specialized it can get, is like you literally need to make all the like boulders in the background, like that's what I need you to do. On like a smaller like independent game, you may have like only a couple of people doing everything. You may even have like a single person doing pretty much all the design stuff.
I actually, and I can't remember the name of the game and I feel bad, but I actually met with someone at PAX South last year, and they were a single person developer.
Yeah, and I'm like, God, that sounds...
They did everything.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
It was just amazing to see, like, what they had. And I'm like, there's no way that, like, if I spent, you know, 24 hours a day for a year doing this, like, I would even come close to having, like, something like this. Like, it's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, and, like, Xantax is saying, like, yeah, you gotta have, like, people from music and, like, effects and creating sprites and characters and stuff, and, like, the design part of it, you know, what do these things look like? What does it sound like? So there's just a lot that goes into it. But the other side of that, the publishers, and again...
Tell me about publishers.
So, you know, again, like you said, these could be the same company, but the publisher is generally responsible for making sure that the, you know, product gets made, like physically manufactured if it's going out as a physical product, or, you know, it gets to Steam or whatever site it's going to, you know, go to. So the publisher takes care of that, as well as the marketing part of it. So they want to make sure that, you know, people are aware of the game, and that, you know, they know where they can get it. And part of that is also market research, you know, like trying to figure out who is our audience for this and what's kind of the best way that we can approach advertising this to people.
It's like, where are those people, in what space, and how do we reach them? So, Orpheus has a question. What percent...
I think Xanatax had a question.
Oh, yes, Xanatax. What percent of games these days is the code? It seems smaller than it used to be.
Yeah, Jamar, what do you think?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
Seems like the production art and its general.
Yes, I agree with that, actually.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Hey, Mr. McStabby, glad you're back. You missed all the important stuff where we were talking about how much, we like you and all that other stuff. Now we're just,
Yeah.
Sorry.
You missed it. I had a daring rescue of
Oh, I get the
lost
question
child.
now. I get the question. Like, how many games are like just coded from the ground up and they don't use like Unreal or something like that?
Oh, okay.
I would say not very many.
No,
games.
yeah. I feel like most are just using like whatever engine that they can,
Yeah,
get
and
use.
like some companies, like they have their own proprietary thing, like
Sure.
Metal Gear. Who makes that?
Konami.
Konami. They have like, I forget what it's called. It's like the crying engine or something, or the sadness engine. I don't know. It's
Sadness engine.
Kojima named it or whatever, but they use that like internally. But the Fox engine. Sorry.
The crying engine, the depression engine, sadness, cry engine, yeah, whatever.
Let's all tweet that to Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
He should use that for Death Stranding, the cry engine.
Let's ask him what that game's about. See if he knows what that game's about.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I would say that like most games are not like coded from the ground up, like unless you're crazy.
Unless you're a crazy person.
Or unless you have to take a JavaScript class to graduate college, and in that class they make you make like a game.
Yeah.
I definitely had to do that, and it was real rough. Okay.
Sounds difficult. Unity, yes.
Unity's popular.
Unity is popular. I've heard of Unity. See, I've heard of it because it's popular.
Are you telling me you have not heard of the cry engine?
I have heard people say these words together in reference to games.
Okay, yeah. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think these, like, in terms of the industry, like, these are kind of the people that are making, like, that kind of ground level of, like, the games itself. They're the people that are making this run, basically. What would you say about, do you think there's any, like, what do you notice in terms of, because we were talking about how sometimes game developers and publishers are, like, sometimes they could be the same, sometimes they're not. Like, why do you think sometimes they are the same?
I think sometimes it's just, actually it could be for two reasons, really. Like one, they're just small, like a small studio, and like, I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
No, it's fine.
You gotta face parents would trust babies with. Sometimes I think it's because studios are small and like they just have to self-publish. Like, sometimes our clients will get emails from just like indie developers being like, hey, like me and my wife made this game. We're just kind of trying to do some outreach to see if people are interested in playing, like that sort of thing. So sometimes it's one and the same. But also the flip side is I've also seen really big companies also publish their own stuff because they can. You know what I mean? Like they have the money, they have, a department and a team that can work on that. So I think it's just every game is its own kind of particular situation.
Yeah, and that's funny because when I was talking about this morning, I literally said the same thing. I'm like, well, I feel like it happens either when you're really small or really big. And like somewhere in the middle, you can kind of diversify, I guess, and like have dedicated, developers and publishers. Oh my God, those are our faces.
Yeah, and like Orpheus just said, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine anyone publishing a Bethesda game,
Yeah.
other than Bethesda.
Yeah, an example for the other way is like with Activision and Call of Duty, like they always have, maybe it's Treyarch or like Infinity Ward or something like that, making the game. I'm real excited for Black Ops 4.
Oh.
Terrace, just call me Terrace.
See, that's more confusing to me. Is it Terrace?
Terrace?
Or Terry's?
Terry's? Terry's?
Xanatex says, God, one of my fave old games from the 90s, self-published. I was thinking of buying a game for a friend, but in-house web store was down for several days.
Eek.
That actually happened to me super recently. I found like this weird like Japanese horror game, like someone was tweeting about it. And I went to their website, and it was kind of like pay what you can type thing. So like I threw them a couple bucks, and then like I had a really hard time downloading it, and it like made me sad because it looked really cool.
Yeah, Johnny Scar with the tier 1 sub for 42 months in a row.
Fun fact, that's literally like it's older than our intern. 42 months in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Older
crazy.
than the intern.
Yeah.
100% older. Because you're like what, like 2?
Well,
Yeah, he's about 2.
What are you, 436 months?
That would not be. That would not be. You should have at least said 41 months.
I'm sorry. Let's see, Min. There was one particular game I used to really like, which was Cube World, but it was a very small dev team. I've always wanted to play Cube World. I just kind of like missed it, you know?
Yeah. And I actually think, by the way, I think that is actually Omid in chat right now.
Yeah, that's 100% Omid.
Yeah, he's here. He's watching.
It's not fake mead.
It's not No Mead.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's the No Mead show right
Yeah,
now.
no mead.
Yeah. Math is not Jamar's forte.
Stabby nose, dude.
I don't math. Yeah. I'm on the lurk because of Comic-Con stuff. All right. That's cool, Omid. You can just hang out, do your Comic-Con stuff. We'll be here talking games because it's important. The people want it.
Oliver, have you ever noticed that like people never put like heart emotes in the chat when we're around?
I do notice that.
Just for me.
Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of heart emotes in
Yeah.
general.
There's a heart
chat.
emote for you. Sorry.
That's adorable.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to start off the show with that whole kind of game industry overview, just so we can all be on the same page here. But something that's interesting is that, you know, sometimes these, you know, whether it's the dev or the publisher, sometimes they reach out to our clients for doing some sponsored work. And it's great when we hear from them because they're always really, you can tell that they care
Yeah.
about how their game is kind of shown to an audience. Because, you know, like when you're working on a game, it takes a long time to make a game. And it takes a lot of work if you're, you know, making a decent game, I guess. Like it, and you know, you kind of care for it like a baby. Man, a lot of baby
Circling
time.
back to babies.
Yeah, look at that. It's like your baby. So when you're giving that to someone and saying like, here, show this to people, like they want to make sure that it goes well. So a lot of times when we're, you know, talking with a publisher or something about doing a sponsored stream with their game, they'll be like, you know, they'll be really good about sending us, you know, like, hey, here's a lot of information about the game. Here's like some cool like in-game stuff that you can use so you can show everybody how it works. I think that's really cool that they, you know, take the time to make sure that everyone's prepared. Because, you know, you don't want to be in a scenario where you're talking to someone, they're like, yeah, let's work together, like play this game and do stuff. And then you're like, all right, well, what do you want me to do?
Oh, whatever.
What are we showing? I don't know. Whoa, that's a lot of emotes, Johnny Scar. Look at all the love we are feeling from Johnny Scar. I don't even.
Dude, shout
Wow.
out to. Oh, how do people do this? Dracodius? I recognize a lot of those emotes.
I'm looking at them all.
You're like,
I recognize the logo one in the corner. Yeah, there's some stuff in there. That's cool, man. That is a boatload of love.
Boatload of love.
Dracontius. Thanks, Dracontius. Are you a dragon? It sounds rather.
Dracontius.
It sounds rather dragon-like.
It does. It's the kind of name that you almost feel that you have to say it as though you're a character in Game of Thrones.
Right, Dracontius.
Dracontius.
Yeah. I'll find Brian Kibler and ask him if it's a dragon. He would know.
Does he have like some weird affinity with dragons?
Oh yeah, you don't know. You're not in the magic scene. Yeah, Brian Kibler. You may all know him from his Hearthstone streaming, but he got his start in gaming playing Magic, and long story short, he was in like one of his first major tournaments, and everybody was playing like this one kind of style that was like really fast and like little creatures and stuff, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna play big dragons. And he won.
As you do.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm gonna play all the dragons. Let's go.
That's awesome.
And since that day, and I think Omid actually gave him this nickname, fun fact, he's been known as the Dragon Master.
No, okay. I did not know this.
So Brian Kibler, the Dragon,
Dragon
Master.
Master.
Yeah.
Next time I have a dragon-related question, I'm going to ask him.
He knows, man. He knows. He actually just did a review on the new Magic set, just talking about the dragons, though.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, only dragons. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic, which is a bunch of letters in a word and like a weird symbol and stuff.
So it's CMS, PR, and marketing. So I'm guessing this stands for...
Give me your guess. Give me your guess.
Okay, so CM, that's definitely California, maybe.
California, maybe. Okay.
And PR probably stands for pretty righteous dude.
Pretty righteous dude.
But the D is omitted.
Right. All right, Orpheus.
Actually, Orpheus.
Yeah, he got it. So community managers, public relations, and marketing agencies. Again, words, space, hard to fit. But you guys get it. See? There you go. The conglomerate montage. No. Cookie Monster. Yes! That is the right answer. Oh, man.
I used to, like, I don't remember how it goes, but, like, I used to tell, like, this stupid dad joke that involved Cookie Monster. But it was, I don't remember it, so I'm not going to tell it, but it was funny.
Cookie Monster got me in trouble.
Really?
When I worked. At my first job, I worked at SeaWorld, as many people that go to high school in this area do. You know, you get a summer job at SeaWorld because they just hire everybody.
They do.
They need a lot of people there. Well, and they have, like, Sesame Street characters in SeaWorld.
Okay.
And one time Grover was walking around, and I'm not super familiar with my Sesame Street characters, so I just saw a blue dude walking over. Was like, "Hey, Cookie Monster, what's going on, man?" And he just looked at me, shook his head, walked away, and literally every time I saw him after that, he remembered, and he would just be like,
"You're the guy who doesn't know who Cookie Monster is."
Yep. You're just like, "I'm sorry, Grover." Yeah, they were kind of mean to me. Bert and Ernie came over and I was working the basketball game once, and they just threw it over. I had to go get it.
I'm sorry, were you bullied by Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street? Oh, I don't know what to say, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Big Bird used to sneak up behind me. He's scary. He's real big.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about birds.
Yeah, you don't like birds. It's creepy.
Having Big Bird, you know,
he's like 8 feet tall.
Randomly appear, that would suck.
I just turned around, there's a large yellow bird behind me. And, you know, the only one that was nice to me was Abby Cadabby.
I don't know who Abby Cadabby is.
Yeah, she was super nice. Elmo was okay.
Elmo
was all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Elmo. Solo Kevy? That's great. You said the D was omitted.
Omitted. I see what that is there. That right there is a new low in life. Bullied by Bert and Ernie. Yeah, that.
I mean, honestly,
it happened.
To give Oliver
factual thing that happened in my life.
To give Oliver like the benefit of the doubt, like I mean, low key, Bert and Ernie watching Sesame Street when I was a kid, I was always kind of like, they're probably jerks.
Yeah.
So
you know,
confirmed.
And I worked in the arcade. You know, there's the basketball game that everybody's seen that. Yeah. There's a ball, there's a hoop, and I was standing there. They came up. I was being all nice with them, like, hey, and they're like, give me the ball. I was like, all right, here, take a shot. And he just threw it over the whole thing and then pointed and left.
And then Ernie walked up and gave you a kidney shot.
I was like, what's going on? I'm like, I have to go get that. Like, it's not cool, man.
So this was obviously a long time ago, but I feel like if it happened now, it would have ended with like one of those gangster memes with the glasses that come down and.
Yep. It would just been like me there like this, and then just like glasses like.
So Orpheus says community managers in my experience are usually really approachable. Just back to the topic thing.
Yeah,
we're
thanks.
off the rails.
Yeah. Let me tell you this, Orpheus. It has been a week here at the OPG office. So, yeah, that rigged basketball game, not regulation side. I will say this: it is tricky, the basketball game. But when someone gets the ball and throws up an air ball, you can't look at me and say rigged. Because
That's the thing.
I have a rule. You got to hit rim to be able to complain. I feel like that's a baseline there, you know. So
I think you need to be a 5-time NBA All-Star.
fun fact,
in order to complain.
Trevor Ariza came in and he did fine. So, you know, if you're a professional basketball player, you can win that game. Anyways,
Moral of the story: get good.
get good, which is what we're doing because we're going to have a basketball team,
We are.
OPG basketball team. I think we talked about this once recently. This week, yeah, I know. It's been busy. So, like Jamar said, we are a little off the rails today, but it's fine. It's fine. McStabby, you stop that. Keep going. But yeah, community managers. What is their job? To manage the community, I would say, as that is their name. Do you agree with that statement, Jamar?
I would say so.
Yeah.
The way that I like to think of community managers, they are like the first point of contact between, you know, everyone and then the company. You know, as far as it goes for fans or things like that, they're just kind of in charge of making sure that the game is well received within the community. So they do a ton of like work to like foster just like healthy communities for their games.
Yeah, I think that's a great explanation. Orpheus said they're the face of the company, which is a really good way to say it. And Spy Plane Sniper, thanks for coming in.
They're the IO port, yes.
Was Omid a community manager for like a game? I feel like he was.
I feel like he's done everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he was. But yeah, the thing about community managers, you'll find them a lot of times interacting with the community. I'm trying not to use that word when I
community.
describe them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But interacting with you know, the people that are playing their game. They'll interact with them on social media. They'll answer questions. I was community director at one point, never a CM. Okay, excuse me, Omid, community director. I don't know what that means. I would say it means you direct the community.
So every time people bring up Landmark, like this has been sitting on my desk for a while, and I just wanted to share it with people. It's like a landmark. Don't look at that.
Yeah, take that off.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like you can't
Nobody
see
can
anything.
see that.
Well, for those people who can see it,
Oh,
it's like
oh.
a landmark post-it note.
That's kind of cool. It's like you can't see it, and then like the little. there it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So like I'm pretty sure this is like a collector's item, and we shouldn't use it for notes. So I'm just gonna put it back.
All right.
8 or 9 community managers on a bunch of games, rather just running one game. Jesus.
That makes sense. So you're like the community manager overlord, like being the puppet master and like putting them where they need to go, like David Bowie in Labyrinth. Did he do that in Labyrinth? I feel like he didn't.
He did a lot of weird stuff in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I feel like someone walked a plank in Labyrinth.
There was a baby in Labyrinth.
There was a baby in Labyrinth.
Yes. Look at that.
Brought it back.
Effortless baby
He
talk.
was the CM daddy.
CM Daddy.
Oh, what's up, Psychogenesis?
What's up, Psychogenesis? You just said that.
Oh.
It's been a week.
But community overlord sounds a little too evil.
You sit in an office called your volcano lair.
I think that's a Simpsons reference.
Yeah, well.
I like the Simpsons.
Yeah. Has always been a puppet master. Yeah. Master of puppets. Metallica.
Let's see.
But
So-
yeah, community managers. Why don't you, do you have anything else you want to say about community managers while we're still on that topic, Jamar?
I will say that, like, just like me, this is like a personal thing.
Yeah.
I think that community managers have the ability to like impact the success of a game. Because I can't think of any examples because I'm tired. But there have been times where like having that line of communication with the public from community managers has like definitely helped games that were like maybe had issues when it launched or something weird going on, and like that conversation and like flow of information was like open, and that definitely helped out a lot. So I will definitely say, like, I feel like community managers have the power to like help make a game successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to sum it up. And I think, like, you know, as far as being an influencer goes, I think getting to know the community manager of a game that you play a lot, or just getting to know as many community managers as you possibly can, is definitely a good idea, because they're a lot of times going to be someone that you can approach, someone that you can go to get access to things, to kind of get some kind of communication if if there's something you feel like you need from the game.
Yeah, and like, oh, what? Look who's here.
Who's here?
Look.
Oh, hey! What's up? Are you coming to TwitchCon? I feel like I read something about you not coming to TwitchCon.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I think we have to make sure she gets there.
Oh, also, circling back really quick, Stabby. Stabby, you're...
Is this the Princess Bride stream?
You're right. Poopy Queen and PUBG. That's a good example.
I love Poopy Queen. I love Poopy.
Indy's in the chat. Everyone say hi to her.
Hi, Indy.
If you've seen The Princess Bride, tell her that it's your favorite movie. Also, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. Let's see. If nothing else, the community manager will direct you to the proper channels to get what and where you want. Exactly. Yes. That's kind of what we're saying. They're that kind of front-facing person, so that, if you need something, you can go to them. If they don't have it, they'll do what they can to make sure that you can get it from somewhere, So moving on a little bit to another kind of group of people that we interact with, I would say fairly often, PR people. So the PR people, they're responsible for managing like the spread of information that the game gets, and that the brand has kind of to the public and to the media. But I don't know. It's not the same as like the way a community manager does it, I guess. I don't know. I always have trouble, like, I know the difference between the two, but it's hard for me to describe it.
I think what you said was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have anything to add to that, I'll be honest with you. Because, like Oliver said, it is kind of difficult to explain.
So, from our perspective, when we're talking to like a community manager and a PR person, there's a lot of similarities in terms of the kinds of things that they are able to provide, I guess. So community managers are interactive, PR department is proactive. That actually makes a lot of sense. I actually like that. I'm gonna go with that.
The PR peoples, they plan.
Yeah.
They're planners.
They reach out, they say, hey, this is what's going on. This is, what's going to happen. Like, are you interested in, playing this game, participating in this event? They're walking, talking commercials. Oh, yeah. Well.
Not always.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
But, I think from our perspective, a lot of times when we're talking to the PR department or we're talking to a community manager, a lot of times they can provide a lot of things, but they don't often have the budget to do like a paid campaign. Yeah.
I would say let's focus on more of the press and telling the story of the game. CM is in charge of making sure the community is informed and aware of game issues, and the developers get feedback presented to them.
Yes.
Both deal with influencers and typically are very similar in how they work with them.
Yes.
One thing I'll add, I feel as though PR people and community managers, like sometimes they send things to people, like promotional materials and things like that. Would you say that like it's more common for PR people to send things out or community managers?
I feel like community managers send that stuff out more. We were talking about Poopy Queen earlier. I know they sent out that cool like PUBG package like a little while ago. The one that had like the ghillie suit in it.
Yeah, that thing was cool, man.
Yeah. I think Anthony didn't get one or something, right?
Yeah, he was a little salty for a little bit.
That was funny. I thought that was funny, but I'm a horrible person, so what do I know? PR decides what is sent out. Community managers decide who it's sent to. Ooh. I like it. We should just get these people on the show. They seem to know what's going on.
Seems which broadcasters are playing the games, formulation of PR managers, you are trying to get influencers to come to events.
Yeah. I think this is our stream. We're just gonna sit here and everybody's gonna tell us about community managers.
I think this is it.
And
then
PR people.
Indy's gonna drop
Cool emotes.
cool Baru.
I really want Indy to come to TwitchCon.
Yeah, that should happen.
We're gonna be at TwitchCon. I think Omid's gonna be at PAX West as well. I think some people are going to PAX West.
I've never been to PAX West.
I also have never been to PAX West. Seattle?
Yeah,
Yeah. They've got things in Seattle, right?
they do.
Yeah.
They have tons of things. There's
They
there's
don't
a
have the
Space
Sonics.
Needle.
They don't have the Sonics.
They do not have the Sonics anymore. They don't exist.
So I'm gonna point that out for everybody. Basketball.
Yeah, at some point we should have a sports episode. I know that there are several sports fans here in the office. Omid's
Several?
a huge soccer fan.
That is true.
I don't know. The business of
We can
being in
make
the game industry and also watching sports.
that work. Maybe we do an episode where we, I don't know, some our basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
People need that, in their lives.
Sports ball.
Yes, sports ball, Orpheus. Thank you. I'm glad you know about the sports ball. Anyways, that's PR and community managers, again, similar,
Ooh, I have a
different.
question.
What's up?
So Oliver, what would you say as far as like social media type things? Like how do PR interact via social media as opposed to like a community manager? Like do PR people do the social medias?
I feel like I don't often see PR people do that on behalf of a game. Generally, I'll see that from the community manager because it's kind of their job to get that kind of information to that audience. The kind of audience that's on social media, that's like looking, trying to interact. That's the great thing about social media is that, you can be this person playing this game, but you can reach out to the game, the people working on the game, with like Twitter or something, and be like, hey, this broke, fix it, or something,
Yeah, I think community managers are like a really good resource for things like that, especially because like I'm just putting it into my perspective. Like when I'm playing a game and then I load it up and like let's say the servers are down, right? Like I could go to PUBG.com or whatever and get an update on the status or whatever, but I usually don't. Like I usually go to Twitter and see like, oh, Poopy Queen tweet about this? Like,
like what's going
like,
on?
oh cool, she says the server, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a information well. That was like really non-descriptive, but
yes,
kind
a
of
well of information.
well of information.
Just imagine all the information you want in a deep hole in the ground.
PUBG_help for when PUBG is up or down.
Does that work?
Where would I type that?
Yeah, social media handled through the community team. And Orpheus was saying that community manager equals social media, though social media coordinator can be its own title too. That is definitely true. I think this is really just kind of a product of how new the industry is right now, in that people are still trying to figure out what's the best way to handle all of this stuff, So we'll have a community manager.
Oh, PUBG help on Twitter.
That makes more sense. Social media coordinator. Sometimes they even have like influencer managers, which is really nice. People that specialize specifically in working with, people that stream their games. That's really cool.
Information funnel.
Information funnel. Ooh. I like the idea of a well, though, because I just think wells are really cool.
You can dive in.
Yeah, you can
absorb.
fall in the well, and then you're stuck in the well.
Absorb all the knowledge.
Yeah, you can look down a well and the zombie's there or something.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode of Walking Dead Season 2.
Episode 3.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot happened in Season 2. That's why I remember that one. There was just a lot of sitting around on a farm.
You can narrow it down to a Facebook manager, even a company Twitter.
Yeah.
You've managed a company Twitter, haven't you?
I've managed a few company Twitters, yeah. It's it's interesting. From my experience, the way we did it, I would basically, when we started working with the company, so it was when I was doing like, we did web presence marketing. So it was kind of we did all the copy for their website. We handled like all their blog posts and social media stuff. So what we would do is we'd meet with them at the beginning and just kind of have a little sit down over lunch or something, just kind of get to know them, see what their kind of idea is and what their philosophy is, what they believe, so that we have a good idea of what that's like, so that we can, do that on their behalf. Depending on the company, some of them, are like, yeah, do whatever, and then some are like super like invested in it.
Like this is like specifically what.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends on the person. Like sometimes I can honestly write whatever I want and they're fine with it, because it's generally good stuff, I guess. Like I'm not doing anything horrible. But some people are really picky about the kinds of things you put on their Twitter. They want an approval phase. They want to see like, what are you planning on posting? So it just really depends. But yeah, I think the more specialization, the better in that way, because it stops people from being pulled apart in too many different directions. There's a lot of zombie talk going on.
Okay.
Yeah, the Skyrim show. Oh.
I'm catching up on chat here. So people were talking about zombies. They put them in the well to get zombies.
Yeah.
Black Skyrim shirt, no. Yeah, it's really nice. I like it. I think Omid gave me this. Or it might have been Audrey. One of them.
Glenn.
Bow to your zombie overlords.
I don't want to bow to my zombie overlord.
How did we start talking about zombies? Is this your fault?
You talked about a well.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah,
As
well
most
equals zombies, like obviously. Like what's in a well other than a zombie? Red Panda Overlord? Oh my god, red pandas are adorable. Have you seen a red panda?
No, I don't know what a red panda is.
Oh my god, Jamar, they are amazing creatures.
My favorite was Black Hand. We have updated our privacy policy. 1. I lost my shit. Oh, the privacy policy things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I made a privacy policy joke in Anthony's chat. When I resubbed, I just like sent him that message in Spanish, and like he read it out, and it was pretty funny. He was like, "Yeah, baby, I don't know what that means, but yeah."
I like that Anthony is one of those people that like when you talk about him, you have to do his voice.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to do the voice.
It's so distinct that you have to do it. When I was in Vegas, I ran into Fuya. We checked out the esports arena, and yeah, exactly. And I forgot something came up, and I was talking about Anthony, and yes, I similarly did his voice just instinctively because it's like, yeah, chicken.
Yeah. You just start talking about chicken, and you just kind of
mumble a little bit.
Chunky chicken noodle soup. That's just how it is.
And Fuya was like, that was really good.
Yeah.
It sounded like, yeah, you just kind of have to do it. You
just kind of got to do it.
You got to go for it.
It's definitely true.
Yeah. Also, Anthony, he retweeted our
No way.
announcement tweet of you and me.
I'm gonna have to thank him.
Yeah.
I see he's not here in chat though.
Yeah. So let him know that we let him know when you go in his chat that we were aware that he was not here.
Yeah.
We were not happy.
People should let him know that every week we have a segment completely dedicated to him.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah.
We should have an Anthony segment.
We should have an Anthony segment.
Yeah.
Called Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup.
Chunky
Lorena! Wait, people do an Anthony voice. When I talk about him, I naturally start to fluff up my hair.
It's like, it's Anthony, yeah.
He's getting the chunks and hype ready for the culling. Oh, yeah. Day 1 culling. I'm actually pretty excited about this.
You know, I'm excited because I never played the culling. So
yeah.
So for me, I am excited. I am ready. And Druid's Fire with the 51 months in a row.
That is an insane number.
That is a long time. You heard Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup. Yes, you did. And thank you for 51 months. That is older than our intern, as we've said.
Yes.
So thank you so much. 51 months, 6 years.
Is that 6 years?
Don't make me do math. You don't do math on stream.
Yeah, Stabby already put that out there.
Nope, not doing it. You can say it's 6 years. I will not confirm or deny that.
That is super awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Zombies. Zombies, babies, chunky chicken noodle soup. Lorena! That is the show today. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, circling back to whatever the hell we're talking about here.
So I think we're kind of
marketing.
Yeah, the last
Yeah.
bullet point.
So we talked about community managers. We talked about PR people. There's also marketing agencies that are kind of responsible for promoting the awareness of the game and kind of spreading that information out to the public, which sounds really similar to what I said about PR.
I don't know, Red Panda. I'm sorry.
Jamar, hold on.
You're gonna show- okay.
I pulled up a red panda. I'll show
Oliver's going
Jamar.
to show me a red panda.
That's a red panda.
Okay, so of the 3 pictures that I see there, one of them looks cute. 2 of them look kind of scary.
All right, well, they're adorable.
Like that one looks like it's bleeding from its eyes. Is that normal? Is that a red panda thing?
You know, I've never been a red panda, so I can't tell you for a fact. Oh my God, that's adorable.
Not to be confused with a trash panda.
No, trash panda is completely different. Did you guys all see that trash panda on Twitter a while ago? The one that was climbing the building.
Oh yeah, and he made it.
He made it, guys. He did it. We needed that. I think as a people, we needed that win. You know.
Yeah. It's like that poster from the 80s where it's like the cat and it's like just hang in there. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the trash panda is now
Yeah.
the 2018 version.
Yeah,
of
you
just
can
hanging
do
there.
it.
You can climb a building
Yeah.
if your life depended on it.
Yep. And I love that it was just like, oh, he went up there to try to get some food and he got stuck.
They get distracted so easy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
So we can get back on the rails.
Marketing agencies,
Yeah.
guys. All right. Tell me about marketing agencies, Jamar.
So what I'll say is that we here at OPG, I almost forgot.
OPG.
OPG. We deal with a lot of marketing agencies.
We do.
Like a lot.
Like a ton of them.
Like a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that normally they're the ones that reach out for like more paid activations. They kind of have like plans and ideas in place and just kind of like general direction on like things and stuff and other things.
Things and stuff and other things. Yes, 100%. And no, you're right. A lot of times when we hear from a marketing agency, that is generally, like those are generally the people that are reaching out for a paid opportunity. We were talking about community managers and public relations. Those are great people to get in touch with if you are trying to get like a game key or you need access to something like that. But oftentimes they won't, like they just don't have, they're not allocated that budget to give out. Like that's not their job, you know? A marketing agency, on the other hand, does that. Basically what my understanding of a marketing agency is that a publisher will reach out to a marketing agency and they'll say, you know, hey, we really want to promote our game, like on Twitch or somewhere, on YouTube, on Jamar's MySpace page, wherever we're doing it. Jamar's MySpace page. It's a good place. But they'll tell them to do that. They'll provide, you know, like, hey, we want to spend like this much money on it, and then the marketing agency will go out and figure out the best fit for that. So
yeah, I would say that like if you take like a big company like I don't know, Crest toothpaste or something, if they're doing things like no one's dealing directly with Crest, like more than likely like Crest has hired a marketing agency to kind of handle that part of the business for them. I don't know if that clarified or just made things more confusing.
no, I think it's fine. Like okay, so going back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, like if a game developer is the one that's making the game, and then the publisher is the one that's putting it into like manufacturing and like making sure that the game is available to the public, they're like I said earlier, they're also kind of responsible for marketing the game. But what that means from their end is they're responsible for figuring out what the best way to do that is. In terms of actually like going out and, you know, reaching out to these people to say like, hey, we want you to play our game for a few hours, they'll often designate that job to a marketing agency, so that, you know, they can do it because they've got, you know, games to publish and stuff. So yeah, like Demar was saying, we talk to a ton of different marketing agencies, and it's a large chunk of what we do here at OPG is getting to know these people, and working with them to figure out what the best way to get eyes on their product is. And that's a big thing for us, because we talk a lot about, like, at OPG as a whole, we talk a lot about getting fair rates for your work. Like, that's a big thing for us. Omid was tweeting a lot about it, like, yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. And, that is important to us. But when we say fair rates, like, we're not saying, like, the most you can possibly get out of somebody. Like, when we are talking with an agency, like, a big thing for us is, like, we want to make sure that the rate that we're providing them with is fair for both sides.
Yeah, and also that we have, like, analytics to, like, back up, like, how we landed and got to that particular rate.
Right.
It's kind of like if you go, you're having trouble with your car, and you take it into the shop, and, like, you're like, yeah, my car's not really working right, and, like, they go, yeah, that'll be $200, and you're like, okay. Like,
But why?
But why? And, like, what are you? Yes, what Omid said, the highest possible fair rate.
Yeah.
But, like, if you went into your mechanic and they were just like, yeah, it'll be like $1,200, you'll be like, okay, like, what is that covering? Like, he's drinking.
It was delicious. It says delicious on the bottle.
I didn't know that we were drinking on stream.
I told you before this.
I
I was
got
not
Pellegrino.
kidding. I was not kidding. It's been a...
I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll work on it next time.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about stuff.
I think I just used an analogy or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Xavier, what was the analogy?
Oh, also, Xavier, can you pop up me and Oliver's Twitters on there? Thank you. Let's see.
Yeah, that's us.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about marketing agencies,
Oh, yeah, that's
Jamar.
right.
That's what we're talking about. And yes, we said the highest possible fair rate. And that's true. But I can feel the Omid Facebook from here. Oh, God. No, it's fine, guys. It's totally fine. Psychogenesis, it's totally fine. But, we've kind of grouped these groups. We group these groups together. Community managers, PR, and marketing agencies, because, again, like, as a whole, they are the people that are reaching out to our clients to play their game, basically. But the way they do it and the specifics of how they interact with influencers, it's a little different. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to say about marketing people? I mean, I think the big thing for them is if you get reached out to by someone at a marketing agency, probably have a budget set aside. They're probably not going to come right out and say, like, hey, I want to pay you this much. Sometimes they do. That's pretty rare. But they'll probably just be like, hey, I want you to check this game out. So, in that situation, you should immediately just be like, oh, cool. What was your intended budget for this? Like, how much did you have set aside for marketing this game? Let's see. What's going on in chat?
I'm reading.
McStabby wants interns to get beers. I'm all right.
I don't think our intern's reading chat.
Yeah.
Let's see. It makes sense to me. Fair rates that both parties agree to means more potential work in the future. A few $100 or a few thousand could possibly dissuade future business. OPG and their representatives could lose more in the long run.
Yes.
That's pretty accurate. Like, if you try and gouge someone for all the money that you can, and then the particular deal that you're working on, like, the ROI isn't good, or like people don't get like what they needed from it, like yeah, that could damage future relationships.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Oh my God.
Dynamic
Wow.
duo, man.
Wow. That was good. Drunk Oliver's hilarious, though. I don't know what you're talking about, McStabby.
I've seen Drunk Oliver.
I don't do that.
It's pretty hilarious.
I don't do that. I wasn't carried to my hotel room on Friday night. Tangential. rates aren't the only thing that needs to be negotiated. There are so many particulars like what controlling, say, the client gets. Yes, that is true. Read your contracts. You know, there's a lot of stuff that can get thrown into a contract. We often talk about it here. Like this industry, again, super new. It's the Wild West out here. There's no real rules in place. There's no kind of standardized way people are doing things. Most people we talk to don't really know what Twitch is. Like we have to like imagine having to like explain like the very basis of what you do to someone that's trying to, you know, buy something from it. Like I don't know. It's a really weird thing. So yeah, there's a lot that needs to be talked about. Read your contract carefully. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Don't sign away all your rights in perpetuity to anyone, please.
I find it extremely difficult to kind of explain to people what Twitch is, just in general, if they're not familiar with the space or anything like that. Just because there's several points that you have to hit, and as you hit those points,
it becomes more.
You lose more and more people.
Yeah, it just gets more convoluted the longer you go, and it's a whole thing. The easiest way I've got to say it is like, all right, well, you know YouTube, right?
I like that.
It's like YouTube, but it's live, and there's usually just lots of people playing games on it.
Yeah, that's kind of how, like, I'll usually start with, like, oh, do you know what Twitch is? And they say no, and I go, do you know what YouTube is? And they're like, yeah, I know what YouTube is. And I'm like, cool, it's not really the same.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, I guess they both have video.
So
Twitch is like ESPN television for gamers.
It can be, specifically with like esports stuff. Like I don't know, I watch a lot of esports stuff. I think that's pretty well known, and yeah, in a lot of ways, like the production value of a lot of the big tournaments.
What's going on? I don't know. Our intern is like making weird noises.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I'm like moving this.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Interns, guys, you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's fine.
Twitch equals NFL football for gamers.
Indie. I tried to explain Twitch to my parents, and I showed them when Grims and Anthony were PUBGing. They were shooting each other in the butt and moaning. Oh man. I
was gonna say, when did this happen? But I'm like, no, I remember when this happened.
Yeah. My parents still ask me every time I see them, so what do you do again? And I've showed them before. I think the first time I told them, I was like, well, there's people and they play games and they talk to people, and I just pulled up like T-Rex or something, because T-Rex always says hi to me. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
I like T-Rex.
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, T-Rex, I'm showing my mom Twitch. Can you say hi? And he was like, hey, Oliver's mom. How's it going? I'm T-Rex. Like.
So my mom is in love with Dan Otage.
Oh man, Dan's the best. That's why.
Like I'm pretty sure like she made a Twitch account so that she could like talk in his chat.
That's
but
awesome.
She, like hasn't quite figured out how, but it's pretty funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like Dan and Taj.
Yeah. I was watching a stream one day, and then my mom goes, who is that? I was like, well, that's Dan Otage.
Yeah.
She's like, what is he doing? I'm like, he's playing games. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, because it's fun, I guess.
Yeah, like he likes games.
And then like I said something in chat, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up, Jamar? And my mom's like, did he just talk to you? Like, I was like, yeah. She's like, this is magic. I like his mustache too.
This is magic, and I like his mustache too. Yeah. Yes, that's how I describe Dan. He's magic. Magic mustache.
Indy says, family dinner for my birthday last year. Awkward silence at dinner.
Yeah. Anthony and Grims are they're adorable, aren't they?
They are. Like someone posted something like, can you think of a better like duo of all time? And like, you know, they had like, you know, Spock and Kirk and all these guys on there. I was like,
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. I was like, dude, Grims and Anthony, man.
Yeah.
So many memories.
All, you know, maybe Jamar and Oliver.
We're pretty good.
We're a pretty good duo. I agree. See that? That happened again. Didn't plan it. This is just what happens. It'll be fun.
Cool.
Oh God.
We haven't been asking, but if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them in chat.
Yes.
Or you can hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag AskOPG. And I think I'm gonna get this right on the first try.
There it is.
Sort of.
There it is. Yeah, it'll be fun when you
Olimar.
Olimar. Oh God.
Olimar. I
I
don't.
don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Pikmin.
We could just call ourselves Jamar. Really.
I don't like that either, though.
Jamver.
That's weird. That's. I feel like that's. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if
we'll
you
work on it.
if you tweet at us, we can pull up the thing on there like that.
Hey.
You know, that's a thing we can do. So be cool. You can get your tweet up here. I'm gonna make us go away now. It's gonna like block your face for a second, and then you're there.
I'm back.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to our last topic of today, which is the idea of streamable games. So this is something that we look at a lot when we're getting reached out to by like games that we've never heard of before. You know, like the first thing we do is like, well, let's look at the game. Let's see if it's any good. Let's see if we think anybody, wants anybody that we work with will want to play it, and if we think it'll be a good game to stream. So, I mean, when you're looking at a game, like, what are some things that you look for that are like red flags for like this game might not be the best thing
Yeah.
on Twitch or Mixer or Facebook?
The biggest thing to me are games that have like downtime or like timer specific things where like you can only do a certain amount of actions in a certain time period, and then you kind of have to wait. Some games are like really successful at this. Like I haven't played in a long time, but I think like Harvest Moon kind of has a system like that. Civ, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
So it's
Good
not,
job, intern.
It's not always that like games like that are necessarily hard to stream, because some of those games are like people play them and they're fun and people stream them. But sometimes if it's not done well, it's just a huge like red flag for me. It's just kind of like, like can they play this game for multiple hours in a row without them hitting like a huge dead stop in their stream where they're just kind of like filling time and like, all right, we're waiting for our energy to reload, and while we do that, we can, I don't know.
Yeah.
So things like that, like that's one of the big things that I look for.
Another thing that we see a lot, and like this next one, like if a game is too hard to watch or it's too complicated, we see this a lot with like some really complex like esports titles. Now, a lot of times these games will develop like a niche audience of like people that are super into that game, but like those are the only people that are watching. Like you're not going to see like a large general audience watch that game.
Yeah.
Because it's just, if you're watching, I always use this example, but it's because I play a lot of StarCraft, guys. But if you watch StarCraft, like if you don't play that game, it's really hard to understand what's happening at a very high level.
In my lifetime, I've played I've played a little StarCraft, maybe a couple of hours, and like you said, like if I watched a StarCraft like cast or anything, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And I remember, I forget I was somewhere.
Bye, Andy.
And there was.
Thanks for stopping in.
We will miss you.
We will miss you so much.
Play the song.
I don't know the song.
Oh, okay. We'll have a song next time.
Yeah, we'll have a song for you. Next time Jamar and I are here and Indy is here, we will have a song.
Yep.
I've
Promise.
said it. Oh boy.
But like I was saying, like I went to an event and they had like a StarCraft tournament there, and I kind of just watched because it
was happening.
It was happening, and I was that guy that was in the audience where something major would happen and everyone would be like cheering, like, "Oh yeah!" And I was sitting there like, I don't know
the hell just happened.
what just happened.
Yep. And that's, Psychogenesis. RTS died out for me. Like, yeah, it's a really tough genre, just as a whole. Yui was in the office, I don't know, a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about RTS games, and she apparently is a big RTS fan, which I did not know, because she doesn't stream it. And, she was like, yeah, I actually really like RTS games. I play StarCraft. but I don't do that on stream because it's too hard to follow. And, you know, if you have a good, like, caster, like Yui is, you can oftentimes explain what's happening in a game. But
you
like,
don't understand the significance of it.
yeah, and like, it's hard to, like, it's very hard to do that and play the game and, like, win.
Like, I use a lot of, like, basketball references and sports references because, you know, sports.
Because sports ball.
But, you know, if you're watching a basketball game or you're watching a soccer game, like, when someone scores a goal, like, you know, like,
Exactly.
that's a big deal. I'm cheering. Like, yeah. But a lot of times with, like, RTS things, it's like, it's kind of
It's small,
yes.
small incremental advantages that happen over time.
It's like, this is going to change the game, like, super big in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so it's a thing, and you know, when a game isn't that, and it's something that you can easily kind of grasp, it makes it very easy to watch. Like if you look at Fortnite, which is by all accounts the most popular game to stream right now, it's easy to understand why, because anyone that's ever played a video game, and pretty much anyone that even hasn't, can turn it on, and they pretty much get what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's this person, they're trying to be the last one, you know. Oh, hey. I think it does mean that, McStabby. Let me go check it out.
Oliver's going to look for it. Let's see. Platformers seem to be very streamable. Yeah. Let's see. Dead Cells, for example. Watching a friend play it was a blast. I am actually going to play Dead Cells this weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see. The top 2 games are BR, in fact, Fortnite and Realm Royale. Those games are both fun. I enjoy them. Let's see. MOBAs are kind of hard to grow in. Seems like they watch people who are either high ranking or notable figure, or yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think with MOBAs, like, it's kind of at the point where if you're watching someone, you're either watching them for, like, the personality, or you're watching for, like, high level, you know,
Yeah.
they're hitting all their macros, or are there macros in MOBAs? I don't
Played a MOBA in a while. I mean, DM Brandon, we he's one of our clients. He is like the top Smite streamer on Twitch. I can say that definitively because I looked at his stats like yesterday, and he is the top Smite streamer on Twitch in terms of viewer minutes. Fact. But yeah, I mean, people watch him because he's good at the game, and because he provides commentary on what's happening that is relevant and easy to understand for people that are new to the game, as well as people, as well as people that are, you know, more informed about the game, and make it interesting for both, basically. And then he yells at people a lot.
He does do that.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Let's see. Anyone ever watch people do stuff like 7 Days or Terraria? I'm going to stream the crap out of Fallout 76, no doubt. I'm actually really excited for Fallout 76. The last Fallout game I played was a little bit of New Vegas, like a long time ago. So I think I'm going to jump into this one. Terraria, I've heard of that game, but I don't know anything about it. Oh, it's kind of like Minecraft? Huh.
Good job, Xavier.
Intern.
How many points for Gryffindor is that?
Minus 10 points for Gryffindor.
Oof. Are you in a house? Are you Harry Potter like literate?
Okay, so this is gonna be another like off the rails side note, but no, I mean as far as like the movies, I've never read any of the books. I've seen 3.5 of the movies.
Okay, so I've read 3 of the books. I watched all the movies. I don't retain a whole lot of information about any of it.
Okay.
Although I know I did the Sorting Hat thing on the internets, and I am in Slytherin, which does not surprise me.
Okay. I think that if I haven't done the Sorting Hat, but I think if I did do it, I would probably be put in the Dothraki. Is that a thing?
No, you were close.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you did it, buddy.
Okay.
Good job.
All right.
10 points for the Dothraki.
But that's like a good one to be in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Orpheus, but a good example of what is stream well, Minecraft. Yeah.
I think that has been. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that works really well on stream are sandbox games like Minecraft, like GTA, like open world games that give you the freedom to do stuff. Now, the
Create your own fun.
right, the trick with these games though is they are streamable, but it takes a skilled caster to do it. Like you can't just like, not that streaming a game like Last of Us or something, like a story-driven game, which again works really well on Twitch. Not to say that that's easy to do, but there is kind of a narrative that you follow as the player, as the caster, that you take your audience along with you. In an open world kind of sandbox like a Minecraft or like even like Sea of Thieves are really to a point, like you kind of have to fill in a lot of those gaps for your audience on your own.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to do that, you know? Like you have to keep your audience engaged. You have to keep things interesting.
It could also be said that like when you play a particular game, and I don't want to say like the game gets stale, but like you've put hundreds of hours into a game and like, you know, you're streaming it. Like sometimes broadcasters, they'll do things to spice up the game. Like I know Professor Broman and King Gothalion, they did like kind of like a hide and go seek thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's ways of making your own fun in the game, and like games like Minecraft or just, you know, open world games, GTA, that sort of thing. Like, it's kind of up to the broadcaster to make that, to make it fun, you know?
And Mr. McStabby had a good point where he was saying the action in the game will not carry the stream. So the caster has to express the story and make the audience care.
Yep.
Which is great. You know, like that's exactly what's happening. And it's different than like when you're playing like a multiplayer shooter, like a Fortnite or a PUBG. Like there's a very kind of clear like storyline, I want to say. Like, you know, it's not a story in the traditional sense, but it's like you want to score more than your opponent does, you know? So there's a very clear like goal, and there's a very clear like instant gratification that happens in those games. Whereas in an open world game, like you said, you have to kind of be creative with it.
It's kind of like the BR formula that I have in my head all the time is, it's like live, drop, loot, die, repeat.
Yes.
Like that's the narrative. Like it's always going to be different every single time you do it. And I think that's where like the fun in those type of games comes from, where it's like the variation in that cycle. Sometimes you don't die. Sometimes you win.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. Live,
Oh.
drop, loot, maybe win. Most likely die.
See, I've never gotten that win part. That's why I was unaware that that was an option, really. I've seen people do it. Ava does a lot of the winning.
She does. She's really good at Fortnite.
Yeah, she does a lot of the winning. I do a lot of the losing. Ooh, I do want to say this on the internet for everyone to hear, though. So at E3, I was hanging out with Ava on the last day.
Okay.
We were walking around on the floor, and we were going by the Scuf controller booth.
Okay.
And she went over, say hi to some people. I met them. They were all very nice. And they're like, "You want to play some Fortnite?" And you know, we were like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess."
Wait, I don't want to ruin your story. But are you saying what I think you're saying?
What do you think I'm saying?
Keep going, because I think keep going.
So Ava was like, "Oh, you should play Oliver. You watch me play all the time. I've never seen you play." And I'm like,
Oh no.
I don't play this game. Like it's not a thing I do. And she's like, "Oh, come on, you'll be fine. You play Call of Duty.
Oh, no.
You know shooters. Like you don't have to build. Just go." And so I'm like, "All right, I'll do it."
Oh no.
And I pick up the Scuf controller. Mind you, I've never used this controller before. If you guys aren't familiar, the Scuf controller is like designed so that like you don't have to move your thumbs from like away from the joysticks basically, because they have the buttons like underneath, which is great, but like I'm not
something you're used to.
I'm not used to it, so like it was a little weird. But I dropped in, I got 1 kill, and then I died.
Oh.
And it was
At least you got a kill.
I did.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, well, show me how it's done, Ava. And she dropped in, also got 1 kill and died. So from that moment, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm just as good at this game as you are.
I was hoping
and she glared at me and was real mad about it. She's like, oh my God, I can't
I wouldn't
deal
be
with you.
surprised like if she put like a voodoo curse on you.
It's fine.
So what's funny about that is I thought the story would go somewhere along those lines. I didn't have it quite right.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought you played against Ava and you
Oh,
beat her. And
yeah,
I was
that
like,
wouldn't happen.
That's crazy.
No. That did not.
Yeah.
That would not happen.
I wouldn't imagine that it would, but
Yeah, it was real bad. I mean, I got very lucky in that the kill I got, that guy was also real bad at the game.
okay.
And she was just like sitting there like watching like, wow, you guys are both real bad. I'm like, I know, but I can be better than that guy.
It's true.
Yeah, therefore Oliver played the game correctly. 1 kill and die. Yes, that is how I understand the game works. And I did just as good at Ava as Ava did in Fortnite.
Oliver, Ben's in the chat. Say hi to Ben.
Hey, Ben. How's it going? I don't know who Ben is. I'm sorry.
You don't know Ben?
No. I'm sorry. You said Ben. I thought it was Pro Bro,
Oh.
and that was confusing.
No, it's Ben.
I see that Ben's here.
Ben Kidan.
Yes.
Ben Kidan.
Ben Kidon. Who's Ben Kidon?
It's from the song
Sure.
that we're gonna play for Indy.
Oh, okay. Now you're committing us to what is in this song. Oh, man. Maybe we just don't be on the show together, I guess. Because that was the rules.
That was the rule.
Like, we have to be here together in order to sing the song for her. So, as long as we, I don't know. I don't spend enough time in
Oliver
Anthony's
doesn't
chat.
spend enough time in Anthony's chat.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry.
See that?
It's busy.
See that? First person. Say
Well done, Jamar.
the name right.
Well done. So if he's in Anthony's chat, he recognizes this face. He can't do the
I can't.
like. It's a real shame. Like I really wish you could do the Ninja Jam on command, because that'd be cool. But like, that was just a genuine reaction.
Yeah. So Orpheus says, I think BRs allow for more audience interaction than other
Multiplayer
shooters.
shooters.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Like
I mean the
just the structure of it.
structure of it, the pace of the game is a little slower compared to like a Counter-Strike or like a Call of Duty, obviously, because that's real quick.
You know what? What if Jeremy helped us out with like I don't know, like a chart or a graph or something.
I mean, I think at the very least he's making a chart or a graph or something. So yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Oh.
Do you have any thoughts on what should be on this chart or graph or something, Jamar?
I don't know, something fun that's related to like battle royales and like
Yeah.
chat interaction.
Sure.
You know, like a timeline of like, you know, heat spots and when chat interactivity is the highest or something.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be
Jeremy,
cool.
if you're watching, we need a graph and or
I'll
chart.
send that over. I'll send that over. I gotta figure out what I'm talking to Jeremy about.
Oh
Right
yeah,
now.
we gotta do that.
Yeah.
Oliver, did you? I'm reading this, but
That's
for
fine.
Oliver. Oliver, did you know I am the one that took that picture that turned like this at the time?
Oh.
I had no idea who James was.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
All
fine.
right. I did not know that, McStabby. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's part of that moment.
Yeah. I was actually in line with, I want to say Magic, and someone else. And it was me and Edric, and like at the time I didn't know who Magic was. And we were just talking, and we were like, "Oh, have you ever met Anthony before?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've met him a few times." And you know, we're just chit-chatting, and then I went up to take the picture, and I got confused, and that's how that happened. So,
It's good. I mean, it's a magical face. Like it's such a good emote.
some say it's the face that only a mother could love.
Some say it's the face that you can trust with your baby.
That full stop. Yeah, it's true.
Babies.
Orpheus. Plus BRs are a lot less reliant on teams in general, at least, than Battlefield. Those games, the teams are like 10 plus or large. On games like Fortnite, it's usually a single player that is winning.
Not the team.
So
I'll take your word for it. I don't do a whole lot of winning myself.
So on PUBG, like they have war mode now, and I've really been enjoying like seeing people play that because I think it's teams of up to 8. And like traditionally, like you could have a squad of 4, but now it's like it's teams of 8, and they've like changed some of the mechanics to where you can like call in like airdrops and stuff. I'm totally obsessed with war mode. I don't actually play it because I'm horrible, but I do like watching a lot. Yeah. So but I do think like if you get more than that in a team, it gets messy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really hard to, like, doing 4 people, it's easy to coordinate as a squad, you know?
Mhm.
You double that number, it gets much harder
Yeah.
to just be effective and coordinate. So one of the things they did on PUBG was, like, they took away not team killing. Yeah, they took away team killing, like, on war mode. It's like you literally can't, like, injure one of your teammates because, like, that would be an issue
Yeah.
with 8 people running around, you know?
Yeah. That'd be tricky.
Yeah, it'd be super hard. You know, you're, like, looting a house and, like, you hear footsteps and you just, oh, come around the corner. It's like, sorry. I didn't know.
I didn't know a teammate was there.
Jamar, get your personal stabby meat shield. You'll be fine.
Oh, God. Is that what Stabby does? That's good.
That's hilarious.
Cool. Let's see. Speaking of Stabby, he actually asked a question, which I'm going to go into. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and send them in.
We're going to look at Stabby's question.
Look at that.
All
There
right.
he is. Oh,
My
my name thing.
Xavier, can you, like, make our names go away?
For sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Boom. Look at that. Names are going away.
Bam.
Bam.
All right. Ask OPG. At what point during negotiations is the correct time to shout, "Show me the money," aka how many shots should be consumed before doing so? So, my answer to this question, it's very, like, it's not rude and it's not, I guess, like, bad form or informal to ask about money very early in the
Yeah.
conversation. Because you want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Because if you have it in your mind that you want to be paid for something or you just think that you are, like, you should confirm with whatever company you're dealing with that that's on the table, because that might affect how you make decisions about what's happening, you know?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, I mentioned this earlier, like, when a company reaches out initially, they may not say anything about money. They may
Yeah.
just say, like, hey, we want you to play our game. We want you to, do some stuff on social media and help promote it. And generally, politely asking, as Omid said, right at the beginning is the best way to do it. I'll reply and it'll be like, hey, thanks for reaching out. This sounds great. Address some of the details that they say in the email, and then just be like, and what kind of marketing budget do you have in place for this? Like, what you want to ask about money, because, like Hamid is saying, there's no point in wasting your time or theirs. If you want to be compensated for your work, then you should let them know that right away, so that they, if they're not going to pay you and you're not going to do it, you don't want to waste their time or yours.
And a lot of it's about, like, I would say clarification, because if, like, someone reaches out and they use terms like, we'd love to partner with you on this or something like that, it's like you need to clarify, like, what exactly does partner mean? Does that mean that there's going to be some sort of, like, monetary value exchange, or, are we just going to get matching tattoos?
Yeah. Matching tattoos.
We should think about that.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm going to get your face right here.
Oh, man. Is it going to be the McStabby emote one? So I have to get the Ninja Jam right here? That'd be adorable.
I've seen some butt hurt in social media from game industry types upset at the rising tide of influencers expecting to be paid now rather than getting all they wanted for a few keys or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, one way I look at it, going back to sports, because I'm simple, no one would expect Michael Jordan to just play for Nikes. Like, like, it's cool that he gets free Nikes, and that's great, but,
Like, and again, it's a product of the fact that this space is very new and there are no rules in place. So it's not a standard thing yet that if you're working with an influencer to play your game, you pay them with money. It's unfortunate that isn't a standard thing yet. We're trying to change that. But the fact of the matter is, there are people out there that are doing work for free. Jen tweeted about this the other day, and it's like, as long as there are people that are accepting these deals and doing these things and willing to do it for no money, then there are going to be companies that will try to do that because they're getting it from someone, you know? And that's why, like, we always stress that you try to be compensated for the work that you're doing, you know, and you don't work for exposure if it doesn't make sense for you. Like, yeah, in some instances, working for exposure, whoops, that was weird. Working for exposure may be a good idea if you're, you know, really small and starting out. But generally speaking, like, you should be compensated monetarily for what you're doing. Because yeah, you can't pay your bills with exposure or free keyboards or game keys. Like it doesn't work that way. And if you're doing the work to spread awareness of their game, they should be willing to compensate you for that fairly.
Yeah. That was really good, Oliver.
I try.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, McStabby. That was good. Oh my god.
Let's see.
This is unrelated to things, but
I just mean...
That's a baby.
To back up Omid's point about getting to the money as soon as possible, as tactfully as possible, because it's not given from what I can see.
I don't know what you read. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Let's see. Orpheus says, the idea of streaming agencies like OPG make tons of sense to me and will draw a line between the professional and amateur streamers.
Yes. I think that's what we do here. I don't know. I think when I look at what we do here, we're working with broadcasters that have already got to the point where companies are regularly approaching them with these kinds of opportunities. So we're kind of just there to take that off of their plate so they don't have to worry about it, you know? So, you know, Anthony wakes up, he doesn't have to worry about checking his inbox and figuring out, all right.
Joking.
Because he knows that somebody is doing that and that we will inform him of, you know, what he needs to do, what we need from him, and, you know, how much money they want to pay him or whatever.
Sometimes I just send him emails that are, the subject header is chunky chicken noodle soup.
How does that go? Like, does he respond to these well?
Sometimes.
Oh.
It's like a subliminal message. Let's see. Stabby says, I'd be willing to be paid in Jamar and Oliver hugs as long as they happen at the same time. Just one big old cuddle puddle.
Cuddle puddle.
Fun fact, me and Oliver are never in the same room together.
I feel like we're always in the same room together.
They don't know that.
Oh yeah, never.
Never.
Not once.
Yeah.
First time in history, right now.
Yep.
Here we are.
And Orpheus just says, BB.
That's us. Orpheus tweeted something at us. I don't quite understand it. I'm not gonna lie.
What does it say? Oh, I see.
I'm gonna favorite it and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that like, you know, we've dealt with ourselves too, where
Yeah.
we explain to people what we do, and they're just like, people watch other people play video games? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It does. They do. That was back when we were talking about people's reactions to your jobs. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Yes. Timelines. 27 minutes ago. I understand this now.
Never. This is a clever green screen.
Yes,
You know,
it is.
It's only the highest
quality.
technology and, you know, quality that we Oliver's shirt's not green.
No,
so.
it's a olive. Yeah.
Which wouldn't be picked up.
No.
So
Different.
it's fine. I review video games. Is that a real job? Yeah, it is.
Wow. It is.
Absolutely, 100%.
I used to review movies. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I got to watch everything early, got to write up some stuff about how I felt about it. Usually there are people right there at the end of the movie asking you what you think because they care about my opinion for some reason.
I care about your opinion.
My favorite one is I saw Birdman and I walked out and somebody asked, "What do you think?" And all I said was, "That will win Best Picture this year,"
Ooh.
and it won Best Picture that year. Huzzah! I did it.
Huzzah.
I did it. I know how the Academy works.
I actually want to make a documentary that's titled From Batman to Birdman.
Oh, just like about Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good title.
Just like the.
Yeah,
That's all I have is the title. That's
it's
it.
good though.
Things will sound like there's no
Let's
money,
see.
but they will rarely lie if you ask directly. Sadly, some do occasionally, but the North remembers their names.
Wow.
The North always remembers.
Wow.
Xanatex Birdman is an awesome movie.
It is.
It gets
fantastic.
my full recommendation.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something a little weird.
A little weird to watch. Yeah.
A little
go
weird to watch.
go
It's
watch
super
Birdman.
fun. Go watch it this weekend. Do it.
Do it.
The North always remembers. It's kind of sad. But so did the Hufflepuff. We're talking about Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pods. Janessa, one of the account managers here, Pods of War. If anybody here is in town for Comic-Con, she has a play. It's Harry Potter something. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it tonight.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
You're the worst coworker.
I am a horrible person. Yes.
You're the worst coworker.
Let's see. Ben is asking, so with all the affiliated programs now out there, what's your opinion on them? Assuming you're talking about like affiliate programs specifically, my opinion on them is that they are fine to do if you're starting out streaming and you're just kind of in that growing phase. It's okay. It's not the best because a lot of times what companies will do is they'll reach out and they'll say, we want to sponsor you, we want to partner with you. And it's really just an affiliate program. For those of you that are unaware, the way those work is basically you'll get like a link to like, I don't know, a beverage or something. And someone can click the link, they can purchase it with your link and maybe get a discount, and then you get a percentage of the sales. We don't really consider those as sponsorships because there's no commitment to pay you anything unless something is sold. So, yeah, I think it's fine if you're starting out because it's a good way to kind of start doing things and maybe give you some kind of background to say like, hey, I have worked on these before, but as you grow, probably not the best thing to do. There's a lot of things happening in this chat, and Fishdix is here. What's up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So while you were talking about affiliates, the chat was pretty funny. So I was trying not to laugh while you were talking.
That's all right.
Because I didn't want to interrupt, but Omid made a pretty funny joke.
All right.
There will be so many confused pregnant women.
OBGY. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sorry, that was
Bishar.
funny.
Oh, Bishar.
I know Bishar.
Bishar, cool.
He the homie.
E. That's more like a sales commission situation. You're a salesman if you agree to that type of deal. Yes. And part of something that we believe here about the streamers that we work with is that, you know, something that we say is you're a star, you're not a salesperson. And we believe that. That's why we don't recommend the affiliate programs for a lot of things because, like I said, there's no commitment to it, and you only get paid if people buy things, and it's weird. That's not. It's not what you should, what a streamer is doing while they're playing games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not just like, oh, hey, buy this now, buy it.
It's all about how people like choose to prioritize what's important, I guess. Because if you're doing an affiliate program, like in order for it to be successful, like you have to put time and energy and focus on it. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things like you can't set it and forget it because you potentially won't get
Do
anything
anything,
from it
yeah.
unless you actively
Yep.
do it. So
And then that feels weird because then your stream just
Exactly.
becomes like, hey guys, I have this thing. I need you all to buy it right now. You're like, that's weird,
Yeah, like how cool would car salesmen be if their job didn't require them to like hit sales goals or like
Right.
sell if their job did not involve having to sell a car.
So this is interesting. Back when I was working at the mall over there down the street at Fashion Valley Mall, it's kind of, you know, for those of you unaware, Fashion Valley Mall in San Diego is kind of a more upscale mall. They have a lot of, you know, fancy shops and stuff. And one day I walked downstairs, I was going to my car, and there was like a, I don't know, like a, why can't I remember the name of that company? There was like a car like company there, and they had like a new car, and they were like trying to get people to test drive it. And I talked to them. They're like, yeah, it's great. We just want people to check out the car, give it a quick test drive, and we actually give you just a free gift card. Like, there's no like commitment to like buy anything or anything. We just want you to experience it and see what it's like.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, that's kind of what the influencer marketing type stuff that we do here on Twitch is. You know, it's not going to a car salesman and having them like say like, oh, this is the best car, you should buy this car. It's going to that guy that I ran into the mall that's just like, hey, we just want to show this to you so you're aware of it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the best way that we found works. When we have people doing a sponsored stream, the reason they're doing it is because it's like, hey, I like this game, I want you guys to check it out. Yes, I'm being compensated to play this game for you, but it's a game I truly enjoy, and I hope you enjoy it too. That's kind of like the ideal situation for how a paid activation would go.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That
Cars.
sounds like the gasoline viz.
Oh God, just get paid as long as people drive cars. Yeah.
I think if car salesmen, people,
Yeah, I don't know.
or people who sell cars, I feel like if they weren't on like a commission based like sort of job, like it would probably change your interactions with them, because as of now, whenever you talk to them, like their main goal is for you to leave that day with a car,
Right.
because it's like it's beneficial for them. So sometimes car salesmen come off as being pushy or things like that, and like those are things that like people don't necessarily want to have in their stream. You know, like no one wants to feel like you have to go click on my link and do the thing so I can get the money. Like, yeah, it's hard.
Evil Marksman says, I work in sales. The best way to push a product is with choice, not with being a pushy salesman.
I agree.
Good point. Fish Sticks, anyone worth a sponsorship is taking time away from the thing that pays their bills to do that sponsorship. Even when they love it, it has to be worth it. I think that's a good way of looking at that.
I think that's a good comment, and I also really like your name, Fish Sticks.
Well done. Maximilian says, but isn't the Madrinas deal that all the OPG people are doing essentially still selling outright? It's very aggressive. So he is correct in that a lot of our clients are working with Madrinas. That is a fact, because it's delicious. If you haven't had it, I recommend that you try it. It's not an affiliate program. They are actually like sponsored by Madrinas. And a lot of times they are pushing it aggressively during their streams, because during the streams they have their discount code turned like way up, so it actually is a really good deal during those segments. It's like literally like 60 or 70% off, so it's one of those things that's like when it's happening and it's only in that window, yeah, they're going to be pushing it because it's a good savings on a product that they like. So, but yes.
Yeah. Did I tell you that I have an emergency can of Madrinas in my fridge at home?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We should get more Madrinas here.
Yeah.
I like the Madrinas, but the problem is when we get Madrinas in the office, it disappears immediately because everybody just drinks it.
Let's see.
McStabby avoids every affiliate program with companies.
A ton more work
Yes.
than you'd ever get compensated for.
That-
Sometimes, yeah.
That is a lot of it. And that's the thing is like more often than not, it is a lot of investment of your time and energy into something that you can't guarantee payment for. And that's a rough thing to commit to.
Let's see. If I'm confident that streamer is promoting an item because they believe in it, and hey, they got bills, I will go out of my way to support it.
Cool.
As a consumer, I feel much less inclined to view a product if it's the 20th different sponsor that month.
And I think that's an important thing too, because that's something else that our clients are always very aware of. It's like, well, I don't want to do like a sponsored stream every day, and we don't think that's a good idea either. It's like, yeah, like spread them out. Like you don't want your stream to be like nonstop. Hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this sponsored thing. I'm doing the sponsored thing. Like once in a while, I think it's a great addition to a stream, and all of our clients do a great job of presenting it that way. Like this is an opportunity for us to check out something new that helps support the channel, so I don't have to ask you guys to support the channel directly. So, but yes, I agree. Spy Plane Sniper. Fish sticks. Madrinas looks delicious. Some people like coffee and hate energy drinks and want a nice coffee sponsor. Cool market. Yes, the Madrinas people are really cool too. We talk to those guys a lot, and it is delicious. They'll probably be at TwitchCon, so track them down and get some coffee because it's good and it helps you keep going during those long days at conventions.
Super side note, like not the last E3, but like last year's E3, I think we took like a case of Madrinas with us, and it was like a morning routine at the Airbnb where everyone would just kind of like meet in the kitchen, and we'd be like, oh, I'm so tired, oh Madrinas, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it's real good stuff.
Let's see. Fish sticks, you guys need to start packaging these streams for YouTube. Hit the how-to streamer market. It's good thematic content that can be straight ripped. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the compliment, and yes.
Yes, on that note, this is happening. Like, this is happening. Get ready. Things about office hours are changing. He doesn't know this yet.
He doesn't know anything. It's totally fine.
He doesn't know, but we do have like a plan that we're going to put into place fairly soon. So be on the lookout. I would tell you what our YouTube channel is, but I don't remember what it is off the top of our head, and there's nothing there. So
yeah, but yeah, we will be kind of pulling these streams out, putting them on YouTube. We've got plans to maybe grab some clips of it, put it to social media. I don't know. We've got some plans for stuff, but we do agree. We had a little powwow talking about office hours recently. We were just thinking there is a lot of valuable content here, and I think we should distribute that as best we can to a general audience, because that is the whole like essence of office hours. Like we started it because we wanted to be able to kind of give back and help people that are starting to stream and just help them kind of understand the back end of what we do and hopefully help educate the rest of the community. So yes, it's a great idea. We're on it. It will happen eventually. Like I said, it's been a crazy week. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, but we will get around to that. So yes, thank you.
It's going to be epic.
Epic. Wow.
So I think we're getting towards the end of the show.
Yep.
I did want to circle back to
thanks, McStabby.
Streamable games. If you had any like final thoughts on that, or
no, I think like when you're looking at games to stream, like it's a big question, and there's a lot of factors that come in, but just be aware of how the game is perceived by your audience. Imagine yourself as a viewer. Is this interesting? Is there a way for me to make this more interesting than it is inherently? Is there a way for me to take this game and make it into something new that no one else is doing? Because that's what you have to do. You have to, like, as a broadcaster, like, your stream is your canvas, and the game you're playing in conjunction with you, the streamer, that is the art you're creating, and you want to be able to figure out how you can do it that's different than someone else.
The people who started doing like GTA roleplay and all that stuff, like those guys are geniuses. There's a couple things there. Today's stream would make for a fairly short YouTube episode if they pulled out all the squirrel moments.
Hey,
You're absolutely right.
That is our charm as a duo. All right.
I just got distracted by our webcam because like there's
a light on it.
There's a new one, and I don't know what it does.
Okay, so there's literally 3 cameras pointed at us. I'm not exactly sure which one is recording. I'm pretty sure it's not the Canon with the lens cap on
Yeah,
it.
so that one's definitely not.
That one's ruled out. But the other two, who knows?
And then what else? We have, what about audience involvement with streaming games, like bringing audience members into your team while streaming? I mean, some people do it. Some people have like specific like days or nights or whatever like dedicated to that, doing like sub games and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
If you can make it work, you
can
can
make
do
it
it.
work,
Some people are just like, no, I don't do it. That's also fine. It's it's up to you, and that's like I was saying, like it's your channel. You make of it what you want it. So if that works for you, do it. It's great. It's a really great way to get involved with your community.
Like I watch the Haley baby.
I like her.
Yeah, she's cool. Pretty regularly, and like she
Nose
always
attack.
plays. She like always plays with her chat. Like,
Yeah.
Like every time she plays Fortnite or Dead by Daylight or something, like she's like, oh, let's all play together. Like, let's
Yeah.
just do it.
We stream sniped Satellizer that one time he was playing Black Squad. So that was kind of playing it with his community. No, we did make that a community game night because he realized we were all in there and he's like, all right, well let's just make a game, guys.
Maximilian says, when do you get some Omid back on here? You guys are great, but I miss Omid.
I also miss Omid.
I was gonna say that.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Omid will be back.
He will be back hopefully next week. We'll see. It's just been, there's been a lot going on. He was at Guardian Con. He's doing Comic Con stuff right now. So there's things happening.
Killed a man.
He killed a man. I'm really
didn't
hoping next week is Omid and Jeremy. I think that'd be a great show.
That would be a
That
great
is the
show.
That is the plan. Plans change, guys. Sorry, but yeah, that's where we're at with the show. And on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up because we've actually got game time, which I think we all need here. It's been, I've said it many times, it has been an interesting week here at the OPG office. So we're gonna chill out, relax. I might drink another beer. I don't know. And then we're gonna go watch Pods in her play.
Thank you for everyone who came and hung out with us in chat.
Yes.
Thank you for the bits, guys. That was also weird too. Thank you so much for
And
that.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but bits and any sub revenue that we get, it all goes towards a pool that we're making to do giveaways for streamers, basically. So any revenue that the stream generates, it'll go straight to making a giveaway for people. I don't know. We'll see what we're giving out. And yes, Orpheus, I saw the DM, so we'll get somebody on that to figure it out. Thank you so much.
And also, this is the part of the stream where I don't know if our intern knows how to end the stream.
All right, well, we're gonna
Okay, cool.
we're gonna find out, guys. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Xavier, cut it.
I have the cursor.
Oh God,
Oh no,
we're here.
we're still here.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.